Hello friends, today we are discussing very important topic. Topic name is there a dearth of right-wing intellectuals in India? This question is very important and there is one answer from Quora by Dushyant Chauhan is followed by almost 3.7 millions. So his answer is by right-wing intellectuals in India, people mostly refer to scholars who want to propagate Indian history through the Indian lens with Indian heroes, stand for the traditional Indian psyche, are pro-Hindu in terms of culture and customs and value ancient Indian text along with its languages. This probably defines the characteristics of right-wing intellectuals in India. Considering this, I would say that yes, there is dearth of right-wing intellectuals. It is not that India could not produce right-wing intellectuals, but they were simply removed from the scene. If one notices that during the time of independence, scholars like R.C. Majumdar and Jadunath Sarkar were very famous. Their books represented Indian history in a positive manner and had much more in it than just the Mughals. These were also recommended even at the university level. Already India had a twisted history written by foreigners like Marx and British officially, who came to India and skewed our history under the Orientalism lens. But after independence, due to heavy influence of socialism and closeness to Russia, the Marxist and communist entered the scene and they specially targeted educational institutes. It is here begun the creation or rather the decimation of Indian history. Anything remotely Hindu or pro-Indian traditions was derided and was never allowed to flourish. The so-called right-wing simply did not have the chance to survive as they would not get any patronage from anywhere. Legends like R.C. Majumdar and Jadunath Sarkar were called communal historians and were conventionally sidelined for secularism. But even after the fall of the Soviet Union, things did not change, as now the power of influence in academics went into the hands of US-based universities, and to be frank, even they derided Indian history and especially the Hindu culture as oppressive and backwards. Wendy Doniger and Sheldon Pollock are some of the famous Indologist scholars who put in the Marxist view to see Indian culture. They are extremely influential scholars, especially when scholars Sheldon Pollock, who looks everything in Indian history and Hinduism from the Marxist lens and American Orientalism lens. One cannot simply go against them as they are very powerful and not only influence but form opinions around the world. Many Indians took their line and that too proudly for personal gratification and glory. One of them is Devdatta Patnaik, who is a very famous writer who writes on Hindu Itihas, means Hindu history, and considers them as myth. They are very articulate and have done detailed research in Indian history. Same for Wendy Doniger, who sexualizes everything Hindu and looks it through the lens of Freudian psychoanalysis. Anyone who opposes her automatically right-wing Hindutva, RSS fundamentalist, and this is the problem with many of these scholars. The people I mentioned are heavily funded from various foundations, and unfortunately many billionaires Indians like Narayan Murthy founding member of Infosys, are funding them to get prestigious tax of funding Western intellectuals paradigm. Also Indians who simply are unaware how such institutions work fall in the line of these intellectuals and are proud of the fact that a foreigner is learning about their culture. The hold of these intellectuals is so severe that many Indian intellectuals looks up to them as some kind of authority over India and its ancient history and text. They end up becoming one of them, and in fact they start working for them. Those who choose to remain truthful are derided with all kind of words like Hindutva, fundamentalist, saffronist, communal, minority oppressor, etc. etc. The above information was to tell why Indian right-wing scholars could not thrive and even today find it hard to survive as the conditions are hostile and are against them, therefore leading to an acute shortage of them. Many right-wing Indologists and linguists and traditional scholars are simply not in a position to compete with leftist, Marxist and American Orientalist, as they simply do not know what ideology they possess and are propagating. They simply refuse to read their works as they seem to be scared or reluctant to confront them. They are in their comfort zone and follow the argument that we have survived many assaults and these mortal scholars cannot do anything. But thankfully, even after these many hardships, many right-wing intellectuals have chosen to remain true to themselves and the side they represent, which is the traditional and historical Indian side, through the Indian perspective. I am naming some of them, in which one is Rajiv Malhotra, author of extremely important books like Indra's Net, Being Different, Battle for Sanskrit and Academic Hinduphobia, currently acting as beacon of light for Hinduism and Indic studies. Subramaniam Swamy, the politician and intellectual, has acted as a crusader for right-wing resurgence. Number 3. Sitaram Goel. He is no more, but considering his time, he was really brave, and his books like Hindu Temples, What Happened to Them, The Calcutta Quran Petition, Colin Mend's The Dead Hand of Islam, Hindu View of Christianity and Islam, Understanding Islam Through Hadith, How I Became a Hindu, The Story of Islamic Imperialism in India and Muslim Separatism are must read and bring a sharp focus on the role of Islam in India, which was until hidden. Number 4. Arun Shourie, a respected intellectual, but I think he is not extreme right and more of a centrist. He demolished the Marxist and Communist of India through his book The Only Fatherland and eminent historians. One can imagine the hold of leftists on our publications, as these books were simply not available for a long time. One of his books is Harvesting Our Souls on Christian missionaries is never available. Number 5. S.L. Bhairappa, a Kannada author and dedicated to the Indic traditions. His books give a view on history in a very gripping manner. His book called Avrana is must read, and he has also written books like Mandra, Tantu, Sartha are again not be given a miss. Number 6. Nilkantha Shastri. He did pioneering work in the history of southern India. His books are must read for anyone who want to get detailed view of the history of southern part of our country. But there are few non-Indians who are fighting for the Indian civilization and are of no less caliber than any other Indian intellectuals. They are: number 1. Michael Danino. He has done decisive research of the so-called mythical Saraswati river and has backed its existence with all scientific data possible in his book The Lost River on the Trail of the Saraswati. He has also written the book called Indian Culture and India's Future. Number 2, Koinradda Elst, a controversial yet extremely well-versed right-wing intellectual who has come out with many fantastic books like Ram Janmabhoomi vs. Babri Masjid, a case study in Hindu-Muslim conflict, Ayodhya and after issue before Hindu society, Negationalism in India, Concealing the Record of Islam, Indigenous Indians, Agastya to Ambedkar, Psychology of Prophetism, a secular look at the Bible, Dr. Ambedkar, a true Aryan, BJP vis-a-vis Hindu resurgence, The Demographic Seeds, updated on the Aryan invasion debate, Decolonizing the Hindu mind, Ideological development of Hindu revivalism, The Saffron Swastika, The Notion of Hindu Fascism, Gandhi and Godse, a review and critique, Who is Hindu? Ayodhya, the case against the temple, Ayodhya, the final science versus secularism, the excavation debate, Return of the Swastika, Hate and Hysteria versus Hindu Sanity, Asterisk in Bharopius Sthanam, minor writing on the Aryan invasion debate, The Argument Hindu, essay by an unaffiliated Orientalist. Number 3, David Frawley. He is also known as Vamadev Shastri and converted to Hinduism and has a Hindu lady as his wife. He was written and co-authored many books on yoga, Ayurveda and Hindu philosophy. Number 4, Maria Wirth. She definitely deserves a mention here as she is a German lady who came to India and fell in love with its Sanatani philosophy. She writes wonderful blogs which give insight in Hindu philosophy and to the differences between Hinduism against Christianity and Islam. Her story towards Hinduism and Indian traditions is well mentioned in her blog. But then, these are only a few names that are visible against a vast army of Irfan Habibs, Romila Thapar, Wendy Doniger, Bipin Chandra Pals, Sheldon Pollocks, Ramchandra Guhas, and many more who have huge influence over the academic institutions. The present counter of right-wing intellectuals is simply not adequate considering the magnitude of twisting and tarnishing Indian culture, particularly the Hindu culture and tradition, is taking. The worst part is that the right-wing intellectuals are mainly tarnished by the very people they are fighting for, and hence their job is made even tougher. The scenario certainly is changing, but the tradition's right-wing sections will need more intellectuals and followers who are ready to fight this uphill battle. So friend, this is the information of Is there a dearth of right-wing intellectuals in India? Reason and solutions. Thanks for watching this video, and if you like this video, please like, share and don't forget to subscribe. We will meet again once again with another topic. Till then, thank you, bye bye. Have a great day.